Hello from Latvia. This is my first Wegovy update since I actually started taking the medication. About been about a month and a half now. So when last we left you, I had been working on the diet just by myself, just on this principle of trying to figure out how many calories were going into everything I was eating, and eating about 500 fewer calories than was needed to have my maintenance weight. And that was working okay. I had actually lost a couple of kilos, but it was very difficult to do that every day and really have the thought of mind. Every day was a challenge, and that was great. But it was by the end, it was tough. And then I started with the Wegovy. Started with a smaller dose, which is how you get into it, a 0.25, I think it is. Um, and pretty much quickly, I stopped having the cravings for the food. It stopped being a challenge. I had already started the habit of knowing how many calories I was eating, and so I was just doing those, and then okay until the next time when it was the next meal. So I'd have like 450 calories for breakfast, and then go on for quite some time, and then something about 500 calories for lunch, and five, six, 700 calories for dinner, and I was done. But I wasn't having this sort of cravings, and that was great. Um, and that kept going, and that has kept going. The things that have been difficult have been, first of all, knowing how much food is in what I'm eating. So that is something that one has to keep track of. One habit from how I was raised is you're supposed to finish everything that's on your plate. So it's been really tough sometimes there are when there's food left over to not eat it. So and this is just deeply ingrained since I was a kid, might be with you. So, one strategy is to try having smaller portion sizes so there's less on your plate, so there's less to have to be compelled to finish by what's going on in your head. Another problem I've had, I left on vacation over a week ago, and when you're on vacation, when you're eating at restaurants, or you really don't have much of an idea of what is going into the food that's being prepared for you. So you really have to try to guess. They're sirens. They're not supposed to be sirens. They're sirens because I'm filming. Here I came to find the quietest place I could. I've been waiting as I've been traveling. I haven't been able to find any quiet place, and now I've been waiting all day to do this filming until there's been quiet and no rain. Okay, sirens are gone. Right, so while traveling, it's difficult. It's not impossible. And there are some days where it's actually somewhat easier while traveling because you just eat a small thing a croissant or something for breakfast, and then you go for a while and you're not hungry and you're not really thinking about food. And then you go and you have something not too large later in the day and you're not really thinking about it. So the Wegovy has been really good in that sense as well. Um, Side effects. You might be wondering what's happening with the side effects. I mean, the main one that was worrying me was they were talking about possible constipation. Hasn't happened. I must say, I used to be very regular, and the regularity has changed. So do be aware that your internal rhythms are going to be different. Another thing that I've noticed, I mentioned probably previously, is that when you do get on the scale, the weight will vary from one day to the next based on how much liquid is in you, how much solid is in you at any given time. So you really can't get too disheartened or too overjoyed one day to the next, but you really have to keep on looking one day at a time. You're looking at the trend line on the graph rather than the particular ups and downs, because those particular ups and downs aren't doing very much. So when I left after about a month on the actual Wegovy, uh, I had finished a third of what I wanted to do. I'm starting at 85.5. I'd gotten down to where the graph was showing between 80.5 and 80. That's in kilograms. And that means that I have two-thirds left to go. I have no idea been happening while I've been going. It feels like I've been being good and dropping down. So we'll see when I get back to Lausanne on the 16th, 17th of July. Step on the scale and see what's happened. And then I'll also edit this and put in some new information and then put this whole thing on the on the video as the second installment in the Wegovy adventures. So for now, over and out from Latvia. It's July 18th. I've made it home from travels, so I've been at this for about 2 months. I have not had a chance to have a weigh-in since before I left on my travels at the end of June. So let's go see. I think we're right on the trajectory. Should be about 77, 78. Hopefully not 79. Let's see what we have. 78.5. So that was within the range. So despite the difficulties of traveling and eating things that were not necessarily within the plan, for example, the other day got a pad thai to eat on the train, and you can't control what's going to go into a Asian noodle dish. The plan does seem to be working, especially keeping mental notes of how many calories are going in every day. That part should be easier again now that I'm back home and can control what is going into the things that I'm taking into myself. So we'll see where we can go for the next month or two. I'll edit this up and put it online, and we'll check back again in a while. Okay, something exciting to report. I have gotten to the point where, almost at the halfway point in this weight loss program, where this pair of shorts just slides down my hips. You can see I still got a bit of a belly, but these shorts are things that I am pretty sure I will no longer ever be able to wear. So there they go. Now, I did buy a shirt a few years ago that was marked as a men's medium, and I've never been able to wear it. And I tried it on today, and I still can't get it to fit comfortably around here. So that's the goal to reach, but at least now we've got one piece of clothing down, and so that's the first real indicator that the change of habits along with the Wegovy is working, and so I'll look forward to more and more pants just going back there.